We're at Coffee Corner in Santee, California. I always start my rides here. We're going to take a 45-mile route through some really cool backcountry to Sycuan Casino, and a huge thanks to them for setting this up. Also to Biggs Harley Davidson in San Marcos for stoking us out with a 2018 107 Milwaukee 8 Road King, all blacked out. It's a Road King special. That's what Ryan Hurst, Opie from Sons of Anarchy, is going to be riding today. It's going to be fun. With folks getting to Coffee Corner as early as 7 a.m. to meet Ryan, when he arrived at 9:30, they were ready to shake hands, take pictures, and get some autographs. And he, for 30 full minutes before we went kickstands up to head to Sycuan, did nothing but that. Such a gracious guy.
I want to show him the bike.
All right, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you for the entertainment. It's been great. It's been great. Watched it for years, I gotta say. Hi. Did you get a good one, I hope? Between all those, I better get so hot.
Oh, that's my husband.
You go right here.
Now, if you don't already know, I host an afternoon radio show here in San Diego, California, and I had a chance to actually interview Ryan Hurst earlier in the week before this event about Sons of Anarchy, his latest project, what he does in his off time. So I'll let you hear that now as I show you the route we took to Sycuan. 1015 KGB, it is Clint on the line with the one, the only Ryan Hurst, a.k.a. Opie from Sons of Anarchy. How are you, man?
What's up, man? Doing fantastic.
I am very excited to meet you this Saturday for the ride to Sycuan Casino, and you got a lot of folks who are feeling the same way I am, man, so I hope you're ready.
No, I'm always ready. Born ready, brother. Born to it.
Right on. So, Ryan, obviously, most people know you probably from Sons of Anarchy, but I mean, obviously, Patch Adams, We Were Soldiers, Remember the Titans is one of your biggies. We know what happened in Sons of Anarchy, which I think devastated most of the world. I know I was bummed out when you got the pipe to the back of the head.
Yeah.
How long before that happened did you know? How did you find out that you were going to be killed off the show?
Yeah, with Sons, before we started shooting that season, I got a call from Kurt, and it was the call, and it was like, look, we're going to kill the character, and kind of like everybody else, you know, I was like, oh no. But then he said, look, you got to trust me. It's going to be brutal and very noble, and I think it's the right thing to do. And I thought that it really played well for the character. You know, it sort of broke everyone's hearts, but at the same time, I didn't feel like there was much left to explore with the character, so I was very fine with it.
All right. And I continued to watch and thought it was an amazing show, obviously. And
sure.
My theory was maybe, just maybe before that happened, Opie, because you'd fought getting back into the lifestyle with the club for a while with your wife Donna, who was killed off early in the show, and everybody who watched it knows that. I thought, wouldn't it be awesome if Opie ended up taking the torch from Jax? That didn't happen, but that was my hope. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought the way that he, I had the same aspirations, actually. I was just like, I thought that was a storyline that I actually discussed exploring with Kurt also. But, he had different ideas. But I still stand by that, it was such a brutal but, beautiful way to end a character that people loved a lot.
Yeah, and you're acting in that, I have to say, man. It was, when you got hit, the look on your face, I don't know how you pulled it off, but I literally looked at my wife and I went, holy crap, it looks like he really was killed just now. Like, you were great, man. Thanks for playing that character.
Brother. Absolutely, man.
All right, how did you get into riding motorcycles? Was it because of the show? Were you already into the lifestyle?
No, legit, the reason that I took the Sons of Anarchy was because I wanted to get paid to learn to ride a motorcycle. Because I had never ridden before and had always wanted to. And when this came along, literally, I didn't read the script. My agent called and said, hey, you want to get paid to learn to ride a motorcycle? I said, yep, sign me up. And literally, the first time that I was on a bike, after that, it was game over. I was just completely and totally hooked. I've been sort of a daredevil my entire life. I've been a skydiver for 25 years. So once I got on the bike, it was just like, a duck to water.
Well, listen, we're going to see you Saturday. We're going to meet at Coffee Corner in Santee, and then we're going to take a 45-mile back route to Sycuan Casino, and I'm so thankful to them for setting this up. And I'll tell you a quick story before I let you go. They called me on the phone a few months ago, and they said, hey, man, what would you think about your ride club if we can make it happen, if he's available? to do a ride here with Ryan Hurst. Before they finished your name, I jumped out of my chair and I go, "Hold, Opie from Sons of Anarchy?" And
Nice.
Right? And they go, "Yeah." And I said, "Oh, God, yeah, make it happen." And by the end of the call of us kind of strategically trying to figure out, are we going to make this happen? Can you, the whole thing, will we get him? Over the phone, they said, "Do we need a restraining order if this happens?" And I said, "Yes, you do."
Very funny.
After a great lunch in Game Day Sports Bar and Grill, it was time for the Q&A with Ryan. Please give it up to motorcycle enthusiast, dog lover, kind human being, and superstar for many other movies and TV shows, but Sons of Anarchy, Opie, a.k.a. Ryan Hurst. Give it up for him.
Very sweet. Thank you very much. Thanks, guys.
Truly have been so nice today. All right, so just a couple questions. If you've got some questions, let me know. Ryan's going to kind of let us know when, because he's done this a lot.
And we're done.
He's concerned about making sure all of you get through the line. So he's going to let us know when we should probably curb the questions and all that. But for now, Ryan, I got to ask this question of you. When did you get into motorcycles and how did you get into motorcycles?
I got into motorcycles when I read the script to Sons of Anarchy. They called me and they said, how do you feel about being paid to ride a motorcycle every day? And I said, that sounds like a good job to me. And that's when I started. That's when I started riding.
So if I'm right, the show's been off the air for, is it 2 years?
No longer than that.
No,
right?
am I that bad with the timeline? Because it went for 7 seasons, right?
Something like that.
And so if it's been, so you've been riding for 10, 12 years.
For a bit.
All right. But you also said you're a daredevil. You've been skydiving?
Yeah, no, I've been a skydiver for 20 some odd years,
Okay, there's a reason I'm asking this question. How long have you been married?
I've been married for 12 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since you've been married and you got the script to Sons of Anarchy, how did your wife take the news that you came home and said, "I'm going to start riding motorcycles"? Because some wives do not like that.
Yeah, no, I know. She was fine with it.
Then there's other ladies who ride themselves. I'm sorry.
There you go.
Kelly.
No, she was fine with it. She said, as long as I can ride with you. She's a rider too.
Do you still stay in touch with some of the cast members?
Oh yeah, we speak every other day.
Do you really?
Yeah.
All right, is there any snowball's chance in hell that we would be able to see you in some sort of retro scene flashback in maybe the Mayans show?
Probably not in the Mayans. If they decide to do the first 9, there's a possibility that I would be in that.
Really?
Yeah.
And how soon will you know?
We'll see.
Come on.
Can't tell you.
I'm trying to milk it out of you, man.
Can't tell you.
All right, so tell us about some other projects you have coming up.
I got a movie coming out called A Million Little Pieces next year, which is based on a book, which should be phenomenal. Besides that, I'm very good at staying unemployed because I don't like to, I like to choose things that are really kind of unique and have a classic quality to them.
So passion projects.
Yeah, man.
You ever thought about directing or?
Yeah, that's in the future. It's in the future.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Now, we were having lunch, right? We went in there and to Game Day Sports Bar and Grill, and the 2 ladies that I'm with, they said, he has like 9 dogs. So you are not only a dog lover, but you told me something else.
Oh yeah, I'm a dog trainer. I've been a professional certified dog trainer for a long time now.
What made you want to do that? Like, how did you get involved in that?
I met a guy by the name of Paul Owens, who was one of the 4 first people to bring positive reinforcement dog training, which is just like all treat-based, there's no corrections, everything is just, growing a behavior in a dog. And I was just sort of like watching a wizard. And I was like, I got to learn to do what this guy does. So I just sort of fell in love with it.
Any given day, and you're in LA somewhere, I'm sure, where you live, right?
Yeah.
What would you be doing on a day off typically?
Riding motorcycles, jumping out of planes, training dogs, and doing yoga.
You do yoga?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, I can't imagine me trying to get this roll into yoga. All right, man. And you're a healthy eater too. This guy had like quinoa or something in there and salad.
Yeah, man.
Are you into all the healthy organic
foods? That's the most
foods?
hardcore thing you can do is stay alive, brother. Everybody's got it backwards.
Does anybody have a question for Ryan?
And we're done.
No, I got more for you.
How many kids do you have?
I have no kids.
You got a question?
No kids yet.
What was the
Thank you.
what was the best and worst part of Sons of Anarchy for you?
Best part was riding motorcycles with some of my best friends. The worst part was just the heat. Is like, we're shooting in the desert. It's 120, just like today. or, you know, and you're in 4 layers of leather. There's nowhere to go to the bathroom. We all went to, you know, every single one of us, at least once per year, would go to the hospital.
We talked about this on the radio this last week on 101.5 KGB, but for folks that did not hear it, how did you find out, and when did you find out that Opie was being killed off of Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, right before we started season 5, I got a call from Kurt, and it was the call. And I was like, oh man. And he said, but you gotta trust me, it's gonna be really bloody, but it's gonna be very noble, and it's gonna change the sort of DNA of the show. And I trusted him, and I thought that came out really brilliantly.
I didn't have a chance to ask you this before this past week. How did you even get involved in the show? Like, did they find you? Did your agent come to you and say, I just heard about this? Did you already know Kurt Sutter, creator of the show?
No, just like the normal channels as you went in and auditioned, and then it went from there.
Who watched The Outsiders? The show, right? Yeah, a lot of us watched The Outsiders, or Outsiders, I should say. It wasn't called The Outsiders. But that was 2 seasons.
Yeah.
You were ready for a 3rd, and
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah, it was one of those things, man, with Hollywood. We were literally like days away from starting production. And then we got a call and they said, go home. And they changed, the president of the network changed. And they had like, I think 5 or 6 really solid shows that were on television. And then they just decided to cancel all of them in one fell swoop and just started running reruns of like, you know, Everybody Loves Raymond or whatever.
Just like a cost-cutting thing, or?
Yeah, that was the idea.
Now, do you stay in touch with those actors?
Not as much.
Didn't build quite the relationship in the amount of time?
Yeah.
Well, good show anyway.
Thanks, my friend.
So, how can folks find you in the future? Like a Twitter account, Facebook,
Yeah,
or?
Twitter is Rambo Donkey Kong.
There's a reason I asked that question.
Right? Nice setup.
I found him on Twitter, and I'm like, Rambo Donkey Kong, what the hell? And it made me laugh.
It sounds fucking awesome. Come on.
It really does. And I won't say what it makes it sound like that you're, I better not. We're in Sycuan, they've got class here. So guys, any other questions? Yeah? When's your birthday? What sign are you?
June 19th, and I'm a Gemini.
619, that's my son.
There you go, man.
That's where Eric goes.
Dad? Dad, is that you?
I just wanted to ask you, Bates Motel, like that was really good role.
Oh, thank you.
Really awesome.
Thank you.
How did you like working like in that kind of eerie sort of odd setting? It was great.
Oh, thanks. That was one of the most fun jobs that I've ever been a part of. Like a little sort of Easter egg is that I based that character off of Mark Boone Jr., who played Bobby on Sons of Anarchy. He is Chick Hogan. He's just one of the strangest, most unique human beings you'll ever meet. Is like when you meet him, you don't know whether to be scared of him or to laugh at him or to give him a hug or to run away. And so that's what I was trying to do with that guy.
Do you have a favorite role? Was it Sons?
No, it was Bates. Bates has been my favorite role.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Everybody knows you from Sons of Anarchy, but we all saw Remember the Titans, right? That was phenomenal. But I was reminded that you were in We Were Soldiers, and Sam Elliott was walking by you, and you said, good morning. And he says, what are you, the effing weatherman? How do you know it's a good...
Yeah.
What was he like to work with? Was he cool?
He's a sweetheart. He's one of the, him and I had stayed in close contact. I love Sam. He's a wonderful human being.
Then Robin Williams and Patch Adams. I mean, that guy to me, I'm not often super affected by someone that I don't know. It's always tragic to hear somebody losing their life, right?
Yeah.
But he really affected me because I was able to meet him. I watched him perform. I think he was a genius. What was he like?
Oh, he was one of my idols growing up. You know, I used to watch and I used to like memorize his stand-up routines. He was a force. Working with him, a lot of it didn't make it into the movie, but it was him and an actor by the name of Alan Tudyk. Him and I and Robin were just in a small room for like 3 weeks, just improvising all day long. And he was a phenomenal human being. Yeah.
Miss him terribly, I'll tell you what. Give it up for Ryan Hurst, guys, please. And Sycuan Casino.
Ryan Hurst, thank you so much, man, for joining us today. Opie from Sons of Anarchy and many other shows. He's still alive. He's real. He's right here. He didn't die. Thanks, man.
Thanks so much for watching the video, and please subscribe on YouTube to the Motorcycle Monkey channel. Hit the bell for notifications for upcoming videos, and a huge thanks to Ryan Hurst, the man himself, Sycuan Casino, Coffee Corner, Biggs Harley Davidson, and 1015 KGB, where I host afternoons from 3 to 7 Monday through Friday. We will see you on the next one, and as always, ride safely.